back to another episode of Faithfully Free, Truthfully Me. I am your host, Hannah Hazer, and today we're diving into the world of dating in your 20s and 30s through dating apps, expectations, and how to form real connections. My guest today is JD Campbell.
Hola. How's it going?
Welcome to the podcast.
Hey,
thanks for coming
Thanks
on.
for having me. Thanks for being invited.
Of course.
This is going to be great. I'm
yes,
excited.
I'm excited. Hope it's not 2 hours long, but we'll see.
I can be 2 hours long.
People are going to be like, does this end?
It probably won't. Nope.
I would love for you to introduce yourself and share why you came on the podcast and why you wanted to talk about dating in this generation.
Oh, good Lord. Hi, I'm JD Campbell. Why did I want to come on the podcast? Oh, man. I don't know if that'd be a good opportunity to express the roller coaster of emotions that is dating in your 30s. And I mean, I've been single for a while, so it's...
That was actually one of my questions. How long have you been single?
Was in a relationship last year, so probably...
So not long.
But, I mean, it was a very short relationship. It wasn't like... I haven't been in a long-term relationship in a long time. That relationship was about 6 months last year. So not long. But before that, it was probably the longest relationship I've ever been in, just over a year. And that was a long time ago. I can't remember when that was. Maybe, I'm old, I'm going to show my age. I think it was probably like 2006. So, yeah, crusty. But yeah, I don't know. I'm just here, hopefully, can give some insight to whoever's out there struggling in the world like I am. Maybe you can learn from my experience.
I guess most of my viewers are men, so heck yeah.
What's up, fellas? How's it going?
I don't know how that happened, but I need to get back to my girlies. The first question I have for you is a question I ask all of my guests is, what does faithfully free, truthfully me mean to you? And you can divide that up or however you want to answer it.
Faithfully free, truthfully me.
I'm talking with my hands now.
I do it too. That's why I was trying to put this on earlier. I think just faithfully free, truthfully me. I just stick true to your face, what you believe in. I think the older you get, the more insight you get to life, and you learn from those lessons, stuff like that. And if you feel like you've got good and bad experiences that have turned you into the person that you are, own them, and just be you. Don't be ashamed of it.
What advice would you give to someone in their 20s or their 30s who is trying to find their perfect match, if that even exists?
Perfect match. I don't know, like, part of me wants to say, like, never settle, but I think everyone has their own kind of checklist of things they look for in a, significant other. But don't be afraid to talk to and go out with someone that doesn't check all those boxes. Even if you're just starting out dating, you're a little bit younger, just get out there and date. Not every date's going to be amazing. And every date you go on, you learn from. Yeah, it seems like it gets easier the more times you do it, just like in anything. But then once you can get good at dating, but you still are out there trying to find your person. And then it comes down to figuring out what exactly you are looking for. So, I don't know. That's the tough part, because it's constantly changing. You change as you grow, life experiences change who you are and what you're kind of looking for. And somebody that I probably thought would be a great match for me back in my early 20s could be a perfect match for me now. But I can't sit there and regret everything. So,
do you believe in soulmates?
Man, that's a tough one. At one point I did, and then I don't feel like there's one soulmate per person. I think there are multiple people out there that could fit you and your lifestyle, and not made like soul options. Is that a thing?
It is now.
You just have to find them all. Like, that's the thing. That's the hard part is, someone can check all your boxes and you start dating them and you're like, this doesn't feel right. And I don't know, I feel like also you can just tell right away when you start talking to somebody if you're going to click with them or not. And I think those people that you do click with right away have the potential to be the sole option. But so soulmates, I don't know. I haven't experienced it, and I'm an old person, so.
Do you recommend dating apps?
It depends on the situation. If you are highly sociable and you're out and about and you're always doing stuff with your friends and you've got a constant influx of new people that you're getting introduced to, and then probably not. Or, in my situation for the longest time, I was working in a software company with a bunch of guys, and I'm not going to meet, significant other there. And pretty much all my friends were already dating other people, and they were already kind of tied up, so I wasn't meeting anybody out when we were hanging out. So download the dating apps and been on ever since. Yeah.
How's that going?
It's not great. It's rough. It's brutal. It's definitely gotten worse.
You were talking to someone, were you?
Yeah.
Is that still going?
Kinda. It's so confusing. It really is. This is one of the things that's kind of sucks about dating apps and just dating in general right now is, you meet somebody, it seems like they're great, they have a first couple dates, it seems like you click, and then, like I said, before about the soulmate thing, after the first couple dates, you can tell if you click with somebody, and then I don't like wasting time, I don't like wasting other people's time, so if I don't feel that connection, then I back out, or not back out, but I will tell them, hey, had a great time, I just don't see this really going anywhere. But then if I do feel a connection, then I'll keep going, keep trying, because that's what you got to do. Even if there's a little kind of social awkward moments, not every date's going to be amazing with somebody, so if you have a bad date every once in a while, it's fine. But yeah, talking to this one girl, we started talking 2 months ago, and it seemed like things were going great, and we were kind of hanging out, and things were clicking, and then it just seems, I don't know, it seems like it's slowly trending downward, and I don't know what to do in this situation. All the people around me, friends and family, I'm getting mixed advice. Friends are saying, no, just get out. And then some family was like, well, sometimes it just takes time. You just gotta give it a go. Okay, but at the same time, though, I could be missing out on other potential opportunities because I don't like overlapping, which is another terrible trend that happens these days because you got dating apps. You have everybody that's single out there getting thrown at you at every given second, and overlapping happens all the time. And I don't know. I've always lived by the rule, like, treat others the way I want to be treated. I wouldn't like it if I was on the other end of that, so I don't like to do it.
If you had to describe the dating scene in one word, what would it be?
Does it say car crash?
It's not the same. Car crash.
Car crash. I don't know. It's so bad. It's rough. It's rough out there in the streets. But
have you only tried dating in Nebraska? Or have you, I don't know, put your range to other states?
Sweet Hannah. I have been single for so long that I've tried everything. Yeah, I think I've got the, at one point I had the mile radius out to 150 miles. I'm like, let's try it out. Dated a girl in Kansas City for 4 months back, that was probably 4 years ago. That sucked. Had to drive 3.5 hours.
Did she ever drive to you?
No. So
I would just be like, no.
Yeah.
I'm not doing that.
That was in the earlier not earlier days. I've definitely kind of changed my attitude when it comes to dating in the past couple of years. I just, before I was willing to throw everything into it and hope that I would get it back. Now I'm like, if you're not gonna, I match energy, and if you're not matching energy too, then it's not worth it. That's my new mindset. But back then I was, a little bit more passive, a little bit more,
How does dating in your 30s compare to dating in your 20s? Is it better? Is it worse?
The crazy part is my 20s was a different time. It was 8 years ago, and dating apps were barely a thing in my 20s. So in the 20s it was a little bit more fun. I mean, in my situation, I had to backtrack a little bit. When I was 18, got a house with a couple buddies, and it just kind of became the party house. So we just constantly had people over there. A lot of fun. Miss those times. Probably why I work at a brewery now, because I think it's the closest kind of sense of that same thing that I was able to get back then. And yeah, dating back then was hardly really dating. Like, it was my house. I had already like 3 or 4 times a week, and then we just had people coming over. That's all we did was just hang out at my house. And so every once in a while you go out for dinner and drink, stuff like that. But yeah, it was just more relaxed. It was less structured, and then the older you get, people are getting their careers, they've got less time. So whereas before, when I started dating somebody in my 20s, you see them almost 4 or 5 times a week. And then nowadays it's, I'm lucky to get 3. And, like the girl I'm kind of talking to now, I think we've seen each other, once a week for the past, almost 2 months. So it's, when we started out, it was more frequent. So that's why I can tell it's trending out. But yeah, again, just like we're just both busy. I've got 2 jobs. She's got a job. She, got a lot on her plate. So I don't know. It's just, the amount of times and the availability that it's kind of changed between the 20s and 30s. And like I said, it's less fun in the 30s too. It's more serious. People are they know what they're looking for in their 30s, and they're tired of going through all the trials and errors. They're just like, if you're not a good match, then we're not going to keep going. That's where I'm at now too. So,
Do you feel like people are looking for different things now? Like, I don't know, I feel like people are like looking for like more hookups and not really settling down.
I think in your 20s, more hookups. People are just like, let's just...
It's rough out here.
Yeah. 30s, not so much. They're looking to settle up. They want to start a family. I do think I think that's why there's a lot of, it's gonna sound terrible, in my experience, a lot of single mothers in the 30 age in my dating demographic. Because in the 20s, that's all you do back then. Because you're going out, like I said, it was more fun. It's less serious. You're going to parties, you're drinking, and I mean, we've all been there. It definitely is more of a hookup culture in the 20s than it is the 30s. I've always been trying to find my person. I've got my own reasons behind that, and like I said, I was never the hookup kind of guy.
It's gross.
It's
not for me.
Yeah. But I mean, it is what it is. That's what society kind of fuels these days, and has for the past 15 years, it seems like. So in the 20s, yeah, I would say it's more of the hookup kind of culture. And in the 30s, it's, not so much, but the downfall of that 20s versus 30s is for somebody that, hopefully no one takes offense to this, I've tried dating single moms, and it hasn't really panned out for me because it's limited my search a lot. But the reason why I'm not looking for a single mom is, I'm just gonna dive into it so I don't sound like a complete jerk. I've dated multiple single moms that have kids and stuff like that, and what happens is you start dating the mom, things are going great, then it's time to meet the kids, and then you form a connection with the kids. But then if something, you're still in the dating phase, and what ends up happening if that relationship doesn't work out, which in my experience hasn't, you're not only breaking up with the mom, but you're also breaking up with the kids. And as a child of divorce, like, I hate that for kids because I went through it a bunch when I was little.
That was my next question. What are your thoughts on divorce?
My thoughts on divorce, this is going to also sound horrible, I'm pro-divorce. Depending on the circumstance. My circumstance with my parents, they actually got pregnant with me when they were 19, 20.
Yeah, they were young.
Yeah, their parents, both sides, were both religious, forced them to get married. They are completely opposite people. They should not have been married. They try to make it work. They ended up having me, and I have 2 sisters. But then it didn't pan out, and they ended up parting ways. And I can see how much happier both of them are separated. My dad found my stepmom. She's awesome. She brought in 2 stepbrothers, so they expanded our family. And then mom ended up marrying my stepdad, and everything just panned out. And I do see a lot of people that are married that got married early on. They got married because they thought that's what you're supposed to do, and they try to make it work, and they're miserable, and they're not happy, and there's a lot of stigma when it comes to divorce. But I've seen the lighter side of it, where it gives, like I said, it sucks, and you don't want to get married, and you don't want to get divorced. That's not what you want to do. But in some instances, it can actually be better long term if you just kind of bite the bullet and go, you know what, this isn't working out. We gave it a go. We tried to live together. We got a house together, and even some instances there's kids involved. And, we try to make it work for the kids. But the worst thing that you could possibly do is have a couple kids and they see their parents bicker and fight and hate, like almost resent each other growing up. Now, my parents never did that in front of us, so I lucked out in that instance. But I can't imagine just growing up. I have buddies that had that, and
I feel like that causes trauma.
Yeah,
Childhood trauma.
Yeah, and I think that's part of the reason why I'm still single at 38, because I saw my parents forced to get married and then went through divorce, and it wasn't a messy divorce. It was just off-putting. It didn't seem great at the time, and so I've just been terrified of ending up with the wrong person, and then putting, because I want to have kids of my own, putting my kids through that too. So trying to find the right person, but then it's tough.
Yep. Do you find that people ghost more in their 20s or in their 30s? Well, let's back up.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on ghosting first? I think everyone should at least communicate with everybody. Don't just ghost.
Now, is it ghosting early on? Like, I guess, what's your definition of ghosting? Because I think,
like when you're starting to talk to someone and then just leave them on red and never see them again, talk to them again.
Now, have you gone out on multiple dates with this person? Or is it just the messaging?
No, just messaging.
Just messaging? Okay.
I haven't gone on a date in like a while.
Okay.
So I don't know. I guess, okay, maybe from other people's standpoints, let's go with that. Let's do, like if they're going on like dates and stuff and the guy or the girl just stops responding. What are your thoughts on that?
Terrible. Okay. That's, awful. Doesn't matter. Even if I go on one date with somebody, I've seen that person in person. We spent time together. We tried to get to know each other. Just a quick text message saying, "Hey, I had a great time with you. Think you're awesome, but I don't really see a match here," or something like that. Just word whatever way you want. But be truthful. That's happened to me. I've done that with people, and I would much rather have that than sit there and after that date have someone go, "Oh my God, this is amazing. We should do this again." And then you keep texting for a bit, and you build that other person. The other person's getting excited, more and more excited, and then all of a sudden, I don't know where they're just nothing. That's awful. But when it comes to like the messaging side of things before you've gone on a date, also depending on how long you've been messaging, if it's early on, like you match somebody on one of the dating apps and you send a couple messages back and forth, and then they ghost you. There's so many people out there. It sucks. You can't. I don't know. From my side of things, I feel like I can't expect somebody that's trying to manage a bunch of matches and stuff like that to, respond to every single one. And
at that point, I just unmatch. Have you noticed any patterns in people not being clear about what they want in a romantic partner?
That was tough. I feel like sometimes that doesn't like naturally get brought up, and it's kind of weird to bring it up in a conversation. So that kind of information, if it's not just out front on, say, a dating profile, or when we're talking about if someone asks me what I'm expecting, what I'm looking for in a person, stuff like that, in my relationship, If it doesn't get brought up, then sometimes it won't come out for a couple dates or a couple weeks of texting, you know, and then, yeah, sorry, what was the question? Oh, I'm trying to, yeah.
Have you like noticed any patterns in people of not being clear about what they want in a romantic partner?
Yeah, I mean, if you straight up ask them, then if they're not clear, they're kind of beating around the bush. I haven't really seen it that much. I have seen people say that, yeah, I'm not really looking for something long term, or I'm not, yeah, and then you end up running them over or something like that, and then they're in a full-fledged relationship or something like that. I've seen that a couple times. But yeah, I don't know. I feel like people have been pretty, in my experience, pretty open and honest about what their intentions are, because I feel like I'm open and honest with mine, and yeah, I'll straight up tell people what I'm looking for: long-term relationship. I eventually want kids, kind of deal. And if they're not into it, well, that's one of the reasons why. This one girl, she awesome and had 2 sons of her own, got along with the kids, but she didn't want kids, and she was like, I'm done having them. I was like, well, that's kind of important to me.
Whoever used Susan, your dog, to get dates. I had to ask.
Yeah, actually I haven't yet.
Wow.
Yeah, I've had
I feel like
people.
a lot of guys do that, especially on dating apps.
Oh, there's pictures of Susan and I on my date.
Okay.
Yeah, does that count?
A little bit, yeah.
A little bit?
I'd say so.
Yeah, okay. Well then, yeah,
I'm biased.
You're biased, yeah. But it is JD and Susan. She is like my child. So I gotta make that open up front. And there's been people that I've talked, matched with, and then they're not big dog people. I'm like, oh, this is not gonna work out. Like, this dog sleeps in bed with me, and she's extremely attached to me. Like, there's no breaking that. You have to like dogs in order for you to date this guy. So
yeah. Which, if you don't like dogs, who even are you?
Yeah, I think at one point, one of my dating profiles that was in the bio or something. No, it was like red flag, and it was like, yeah, if you don't like dogs or something. I had one of those listed up there.
Are you still on dating apps?
Yeah, I'm on one. Yeah, like I said, the one
Have you
girl.
ever tried Facebook dating?
Yeah, that one's weird.
I hate it.
It's funky.
It's really weird.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever actually gone on a date from Facebook dating. I matched with a couple people and then matched with back and forth, and that's all I went. And I think I still actually
I feel like I'm always
that.
saying XXX. I'm so picky. Anyways, moving on to Snapchat and dating. I just kind of want to hear your thoughts on Snapchat, because I just deleted mine like a month ago, I guess. Do you think Snapchat makes it easier or harder to build trust in modern dating?
Oh, depends on how the person's using it. I'm an older person. A lot of people my age are just using Snapchat to message friends and stuff like that. We're not.
I guess it depends how old you are, I guess.
Yeah, I'm an old. But yeah, I could see how and why it could ruin trust in a relationship if you're in a relationship. Also at the same time, like I said, I haven't really been in a very close relationship in last year, yeah, but she's close to my age. She wasn't on Snapchat. Like, it wasn't anything. I barely know how to use Snapchat. I got it because people are like, you need to get Snapchat so I can message you. I'm like, okay, fine. But I don't really use it besides just messaging. I'm not a very social media kind of person. I don't really
Do you
post.
have social media besides Snap?
Oh, yeah, I've got, and I'm on Facebook, obviously, because everyone is.
TikTok?
I have TikTok, but I never use it because it's one of those where you're in a group chat and
I use
people.
it for the podcast.
Yeah. And Instagram's awesome. I do love Instagram.
I'm addicted to it. I can't delete it.
Yeah. Like, I was already addicted before when it was just images. Like, I'm a car guy, love art. Yeah, Instagram's awesome. I don't know. Tattoos, art, music, cars. awesome. And you can tailor your feed, and then
Mm-hmm.
they start doing reels, and then now the reels are kind of like targeted towards you. And man, I can lose some time in Instagram. TikTok, I don't know, it's weird. I'm not a fan. Do I ever post on any of these? No, I did start an Instagram because I've got a project car, so I started one for that, just kind of track it. And
You're not making Susan Instagram? Dang.
I should actually.
You
I didn't think about that.
Is Snapchat more likely to strengthen real connections or encourage casual interactions in dating? I don't know. I feel like
It depends on how. It depends on how serious you are in the relationship with that person, right?
Mm-hmm.
If you're more on the side of fun, more flirty, and it's not so serious, and both parties are okay with using Snapchat for pretty much what everyone uses Snapchat for, then I don't see an issue with it. But where it gets that gray area is if one person is already in a relationship and then they're messaging on Snapchat with somebody else and they're doing, that kind of shady stuff. So that's where it's a little sketch.
At the age you are now, do you feel like there's pressure to settle down?
Okay, I guess from, I don't know, I wouldn't say from like society, from like my family, all my friends pretty much.
When are you gonna get a girlfriend?
Oh yeah. Hey, well, okay, here's.
When are you gonna have kids?
That's one I guess because, so my situation I think might be a little different than a lot, like, and why I want kids so much.
Mm-hmm.
I'm the 6th John Campbell in a run. So my dad's John Campbell, grandpa's John Campbell, great-grandpa's John Campbell, all that. And each one of us has been the only boy in the group of siblings. So I'm the oldest. I have this. I don't say it. I should
carry it on.
I gotta carry it on. Like, my dad's told me, he's like, hey, you don't need to have kids, no pressure. And I'm like, no, I actually
adopt. If it comes down to it.
I could, but at the same time, though, to me, I don't know, this could sound old timey as a guy, though, it's not the same. Like, we all of us John Campbells kind of look the same, and it would kind of, I don't know, it just wouldn't. Yeah, I think that's where society kind of comes in, and the norms and your mindset on a lot of different views and opinions. But that's pretty much the only thing I'm really kind of old school about, is wanting to have my own son named John Campbell. And
Watch, you have daughters.
my dad was one of 6. I was one of 3. I've always made the joke that, if I had like daughter after daughter, I'm just gonna start naming them John until I eventually have a son.
Oh,
so I'm gonna end up with like 7 daughters named John. So I think it was George Foreman did that. I don't know if you know who George Foreman is. Old boxer, but he named all of his kids George.
Alright. How do you balance dating with your career, friendships, and life goals?
Wow, I mean, I feel like with me, I'm kind of lucky out with my day job. It's a little bit flexible. I can.
Yeah. What has been the most surprising or positive part about dating in your upper 30s?
Positives. Okay, the positives are if you compare it to the past. It seems like more and more people are more serious about dating, so it's easier to, and like I said, I think there's more communication. They're less shady. They're like, no, I don't have time to mess around. This is what I want. If you don't fit that, then it's not gonna work out. And that makes it so much easier. Downfall though is I feel like I've gone on more dates in the past 8 years than
So it doesn't get easier?
No, you go on more, but there's less heartbreak, if that makes sense.
Yeah. Where do you like to take girls on dates?
Oh man, so first date, if I don't know the person, I meet them on a dating app or something like that.
Yeah, somewhere public.
Oh, 100%. Like I have sisters. I know. Like I'm not like, hey, let's go to my place. I'm gonna cook you spaghetti. And no, gross. I like taking them to a place like Blackstone downtown, Benson, something like that, where we meet up for drinks or coffee first, and then if we're vibing each other, then there's an opportunity for lunch or dinner, or we can bar hop a little bit, something like that. That's like a perfect first date, I think, in my eyes, because it gives both people an option out. You can, if the conversation sucks, there's too much lull, in the conversation, then one person go, okay, yeah, I had a great time, but I gotta get going, such and such. I gotta go take care of Susan. She's been in the kennel all day,
Always use in season.
Yeah, sorry, ladies, if you listen to this and you've heard that excuse from me before. Yeah, I just wasn't vibing.
Thanks for tuning in.
Yeah.
Subscribe.
And there goes the last 3 of your women subscribers. No, I'm just. No, but no, I mean, it gives both parties the opportunity to check out pretty much at any moment, right? And that's what I think you want in the first date. It's less pressure. You're in public. You're social setting, and I'm more of a social person too. Like, I'm not a huge introvert, so I don't know if I'd really be able to match with a super introvert, because then I don't know what we do, because they're just always out doing stuff.
Yeah.
So, but does that answer your question?
I think so.
Okay.
Do you think maturity changes the way you approach relationships?
I do, yeah. I mean, kind of stepping back to what I was saying before about the 20s and the 30s is, no, it's, right on time. You're more focused on your career, you're more focused on, you kind of get set in your ways when you're in your 30s. You're just like, I got my own place, I got the things I like to do, my place is set up the way I want it to be set up, and if someone can't just like, you can't picture yourself just dropping somebody off into that place. But yeah, I mean, you just, the older you get, the more you just got to think of if that person is just going to fit in your life. And I think that people aren't willing to change their ways the older they get, as much as you would be if you were in your 20s. But then, the same side of that, I think that's why a lot of relationships in the 20s don't really pan out, because you're willing to change who you are in your 20s.
What was your absolute worst first date?
Probably do you have a catfishing question in there? Because this will tie right in with that.
Oh, we can make it one.
So,
wait, did you share this story at that one bar with Austin?
I think so. The tavern, we were at tavern.
I think.
Yep. That's one of the downfalls of online dating is
catfish.
Catfish. People can doctor photos. The ladies are good at angles. Guys are terrible at taking photos. My sister will look at my dating profiles every once in a while and just go, "What are you doing?" And I'm like, "I don't have any other better pictures. I can't take my own pictures." Anyway, terrible first date. Matched with a girl, seemed cute. Hey, let's meet up at the sushi restaurant, and I get there early. Good table sitting there, and just waiting, and all of a sudden I see this girl walk in. I was like, no, that's not her. And then she comes walking over to me, and the first words out of her mouth were, "You're real?" And I'm like,
"You're real?
What?" And then this is years ago, so I can't remember her name. Let's just say,
don't name drop.
Yeah, let's say Mary.
Hannah Montana.
Hannah Montana. So Hannah Montana is like, "It's me, Hannah Montana." And I'm like, "Oh, hey." And she looked nothing like any of her photos. And it was, I don't know, I was like, "Hey, nice to meet you."
Got her Snapchat before.
Yeah.
Rookie mistake.
So I don't know, but I didn't just run. I was like, "Hey, nice to meet you." We sat down, we ate a meal, and then kind of going back to that first date thing, I think that's when I started doing the going out for drinks and coffee first, because that was, the first date was just dinner, and I'm like, "Yep, no, I bought dinner."
Well, at least you stayed and bought dinner.
And then I had a polite message with her later on, because she sent me a text afterwards saying, "Thank you for dinner. I had a great time."
She said it's not working out.
I just said I didn't feel connected.
Oh, you said that.
Yeah. So I was like, "Hey, no, I had a great time too. I don't know if there's a connection here." And then she said, "Okay, thanks for letting me know." And that was it.
True. I mean, you're stuck with that person for the rest of your life.
Yeah.
What's your biggest red flag in dating?
like part of me wants to say like loyalty, but then another part of me wants to say communication, because I think that I'm gonna have to go with communication, because if you're not communicating with each other, that is gonna eventually lead to people being disloyal.
Yeah.
So if you're not expressing, hey, you know, this, even if it's something dumb, like you just gotta figure out a way to have the awkward conversation with somebody. It's the only way a relationship's gonna work out. I don't know. I'm trying to think of something dumb that would just bug somebody, you know. But if you end up,
when people use periods at the end of each sentence in texting, it's my biggest red flag.
great, now I'm gonna go back to all my texts that I sent you and see if I use periods in every single one of them. Periods in the end of sentences?
And texting, it just makes it feel like people are mad at you. I don't know. Maybe that could just be me, but it
I
just
can't
makes
use
it seem
exclamation points in every. Then it's just like I'm really excited about everything I say.
It's true. Or just don't use anything.
So then it's just a giant run-on sentence. As a, I'm a grammar nerd like
Giant
that. Yeah, I don't know. I gotta make sure the punctuation's right, you know, because that's how I am. So this, yeah.
That's what old people do.
Yep.
What's the best green flag in dating?
Best green flag. That's the opposite of the red flag. Is communication. Like someone that's really good at communicating, and they're like, "Hey, I had a really great time, but I don't know, don't do this time." Okay, sounds good. Instead of just kind of dipping out and giving up all hope, you know, they actually communicate what they have a great experience with when they date. That goes miles, because then you can go, "Oh yeah, I didn't even know I did that," and it's. Like this is a perfect example, periods and texting. Like
I had to.
Yep. Now I'm just like, well, all it takes for me to do is to know that happens and that it bugs you, and then guess what? Now I'm not going to have any periods in the text message with you anymore. It's not like it's something that's a big deal to me. Communication.
Do you have any funny or wild dating stories that you want to share with the audience?
That wasn't even a date. That was just I had Susan at the patio at the brewery, and then this girl was up there with her mom. She was asking questions about Susan, because Susan's like, I don't know, playing fetch, cool everybody, opening gates on her own, and she's like, "Oh, who trained your dog? Blah 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 blah." And I was like, "I did." She's like, so then she's telling me that her and her dog they do search and rescue and stuff like that, and that they're coming up in Lincoln soon. It's going to be like kind of tryouts for dogs and their owners. And she's like, "Are you interested?" And I was like, "That sounds actually awesome." And so we changed numbers and stuff. And then she, like, I think the next week that she's texting me saying, "Hey, you should come down to Sonny's." And she's like, I got a friend that you should meet. And I'm like, "Okay, I'm in. I'm single. I'm open to things. You know, let's try out." And then I'm like, "Well, I got Susan, so I have to run her home." And she's like, "Oh, you bring Susan." I'm like, "Okay." And then I don't know where she goes, "Give you a heads up, she is 50. And I'm like, "Okay."
Well, that doesn't help you.
I was like, "Well, that's fine." And she's like, she's gorgeous." I'm like, "I'm sure she is. I don't have anything against." And I told her, I was like, "Look, here's my deal. I am single, but I am looking to date somebody and then eventually have kids."
Yeah.
And she's like, "Yeah, she doesn't want to have any more kids." I'm like, "Okay, then I don't."
It's not going to work out.
Yeah, I was like, "Unfortunately, I don't think it's going to work out." And then she's like, "Well, you still come down and have a good time." I'm like, I'm on 180th and Q, and Sonny's is on 72nd, and was it Pacific? Yeah.
I think so. By UNL.
Yeah, by UNL.
They don't know what UNL is, but they might.
They might.
I don't know who listens.
Yeah.
Love y'all. Thank you.
I love you too.
Continuing, since it's a faith-based podcast, I have to mention faith. It's required. Does faith play a role in choosing your partner?
Not really for me.
Do you believe in God at least?
Believe in God. I believe that there is something out there. There is
a creator of the universe.
Yeah, there's something out there that you can't just have all of this without something.
Yeah.
I think before I was kind of telling you about my reason why I'm not religious. I don't go to church and stuff like that. Which I don't know if you want, I can delve into that, but
go for it.
Go for it.
Just don't bore them. I'm just kidding.
Okay. No, with yeah, I don't know. Like I said, my parents actually got pregnant with me when they were 19, 20. Both their parents were extremely religious. Forced them to get married. Dad was in the Navy. We moved around a bunch. When we came back here, my mom's parents said that we could stay with them. On the only stipulation was that us kids had to go to Catholic school, St. Pius. And up until that point, this is third grade for me. I had only been baptized. My parents never took me to mass because when your parents are so religious, kind of force it onto your children like they did, where they're forcing them to get married. My parents kind of resented the church, and so we just never went to church. They never talked bad about the church, and they still won't today. They say, they say that church just isn't for everybody, but it is definitely, they've seen it help numerous people out there, so they're badmouth it. It's just not for them. So that's kind of the way we were raised. So third grade, I get thrown into St. Pius, and I'm the new kid. I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know how to, go to mass and stuff like that, where you go, body of Christ, all that kind of stuff. I have no idea what I'm doing. And instead of all these kids kind of being accepting of me and kind of showing me the ropes and kind of just, they were the exact opposite. They picked on me. They're brutal. They were so mean. And I'm in third grade. I don't know anybody. And the last thing I want to do is just be the sole outcast of the school. Reason why I don't follow a lot of organized religion stems from that kind of traumatic childhood experience. Like, in my mind, if that was the path I was supposed to go down, and the Creator wanted me to go down that path, the Creator would have had those kids treat me the way they did. And so because of that, I followed my parents' footsteps, and I was never religious. Now, when there's something up there, there's something is organized something. I don't like all of this. I don't know. I believe in karma. Since I was that age, I've always said, treat others the way you want to be treated, and that's why I live by. Karma, treat others the way you've been treated. So I'm not a jerk. I'm not going to down talk you. I'm not going to try and talk you out of your religion. I'm not going to try and talk you into somebody. It's just live your life. Faithfully free, truthfully me.
Love it. Do you think faith or lack of faith affects compatibility in relationships?
I actually don't. Yeah, my brother-in-law, awesome guy, funny, super caring. His parents, extremely religious. He's extremely religious because of that. His parents are, still married. They have a very different dynamic than what my sisters and I went through when it came to upbringing and stuff like that. And my sister always jokes that, I'm going to name drop, I don't care. Robbie's family is just normal, and ours is chaotic and crazy, and it is. And
you guys should go on reality TV.
It would be hilarious. But now with that being said, they made it work. Obviously, they've been together for, they've got Simone, my niece, goddaughter. She's getting ready to turn 6 on Saturday. And so they've been together at least that long. But when they first started dating, since he was so religious and his parents were religious, he had his own house. My sister was renting an apartment. She could not move into that house until they were married. That's what the rule was. And this is the only time that I know about that it kind of came into conflict with his religious beliefs and his parents' religious beliefs and hers. And pretty much relaxed. She's like, Robbie, I am not going to marry somebody that I have never lived with. She's like, it doesn't make sense to me. Like, I need to know that we're going to be compatible, that I can. And she's like, on top of that, I'm over here every night anyway. What's the difference? She's like, I'm paying for an entire apartment. It doesn't make any sense that I'm paying for an apartment and I'm not going to be able to see if we're going to be compatible before we get married and move into this house. And that was, she drew the line. And Yeah, they've been married for, I think, 7 years now. 7 or 8 years.
Okay.
But yeah, they're killing. They're awesome. Love those guys.
Have you ever come across a situation where faith was a deal breaker?
Not in my instance, but I also haven't dated anybody like overly religious, like to the point where I'd have to change my way of life, because I know that wouldn't work out. Like at this point in my stage of life, I'm not changing. Like the girl I dated last year for a while, I went to church with her every once in a while and stuff like that.
What church?
Revenant? Is that the one that?
Is that here?
Yeah, like 204th and Maple.
Must be new, because I don't know.
Relevant? I don't know, it's one of those like warehouse churches.
Yeah. I wasn't super religious. I just had to get a TB skin test. You know what that is?
No.
No, I had to get one for a job. It's to see if you have tuberculosis or not.
Oh, okay.
Did not. But I was drunk. I hate needles.
Okay.
So I pass out when I get shots. It wasn't even a shot, so I don't freaking know. But I passed out driving and holding my car. And I don't know, I just kind of fell into faith and wanted to like get to know like the Lord more. So that kind of was my testimony to it. But I wasn't like super religious before that, and I'm still like not super religious. I'm just curious about it.
Yeah.
But yeah, nothing wrong with that. I just hate pushing it onto people because that's not me.
No, that's cool. Yeah.
But yeah. Would you say spirituality or just a sense of shared values is still important in a relationship?
Yeah, I mean, shared values for sure. Spirituality, I don't know, as long as they're not like into the dark arts and hailing Satan, like that's a red flag.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I don't. I mean, it wouldn't sway me in really any way so I don't think it's that big of a deal. But
all right, last question on faith. If your partner that you meet down the road did have strong religious beliefs, how do you think that would affect compatibility for you?
it depends on how much they would expect me to
Participate.
Partake
in it.
I'm gonna have a real hard time trying to remember hymns and stuff like that, like
Bible verses.
Yeah, I'll go. I'll be there and I'll support. But I'm gonna have a real hard time trying to just dive into something unless I go through a situation like you. That I'm like, oh man, okay, now this is that instance, because I feel like I had the exact opposite instance when I was younger, and so I think I need a reverse of that.
What advice, that I for some reason have more males on my podcast and it's pink and faith-based, but I don't know. What advice would you give to young men who are in the process of looking for their potential wife? What do you think they should be looking for?
Don't be a jerk. Be accommodating. Just be a gentleman. Like, just be a nice guy. Like, that's the thing. Like, if you're younger and you're starting to get out there and date, you might have this push from like society that it's about hookups and stuff like that. It's not like it. In the end of the day, it doesn't matter how many people you've been with, unless you're a terrible human being in my eyes. Like,
ooh, do body counts bother you?
Yeah. Yep. Mm-hmm. It's rough. Like,
I just think it's gross.
Yeah, it's not. This isn't Pokemon. We're not trying to catch them all.
Mm-hmm.
It's just, if you have a high body count, then it means you're not. One, I feel like you don't respect yourself. Two, I feel like you think that that's the only way you can get a guy.
What advice would you give to someone who's single and dating in their 20s or 30s?
Well, I think because the first one was for like the men, right?
Men, but like for girls too.
For girls too. Just
adding that in.
I feel like keep harping back to the communication's key. Know what you want. Don't settle.
Don't ghost.
Yeah. No, seriously, that's what I mean.
Stay off the dating apps.
if you can. If you're social,
Go out.
go out
Meet
and
people. Meet people through friends. I think that's what Austin told you.
yep, through friends. That's the best way to do it. Other option, friends is great because your friends know who you are and they can go, this person actually might be a good match.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I've been set up on numerous blind dates though from my family and friends, and those have clearly panned out. So, but I mean, I was open to those experiences because I'm like, who knows?
So that didn't work.
Yeah, who knows? Maybe one of them will work out. Another thing is if you're having a hard time finding somebody, what you should do is take a look at your hobbies, what you enjoy doing, and then see if there are, groups out there. So like my hobbies don't really benefit me in the realm of meeting women. Like I love working on cars. I like going to breweries, which I've worked at one, so that helped a little bit. I still haven't even gone on a date with anybody from the brewery yet. I've been there for 2 years.
Yikes.
So I mean, my free time is spent hanging out with my married friends, going to the brewery and drinking with my dog Susan, and then working on cars and motorcycles. That's why I'm on a dating app. If you like working out and you like fitness, go to a gym and don't be the creepy guy that's watching the girls working out. You gotta judge the room and you gotta feel the vibe before you just start approaching people too. That's another thing that I think a lot of people are terrible at. But also, don't be afraid to say hi. Don't be afraid. Just don't do it in a creepy way. And if you don't know what's creepy,
Yeah, what is creepy?
for a long time, and then I don't know, just like approaching the worst moment. Terrible moments, like if I have sisters, you can just like I grew up with these sisters. You can just tell when if a girl is just already has her guards up just because she's in a public place, stuff like don't approach her at that time.
Yeah.
If I'm walking from a parking spot 2 blocks down the road and it gets kind of dark and there's a girl in front of me, I'm not going to approach her in this dark alleyway and go, hey, I think you're cute. That's creepy. That's terrifying. I will cross the street and avoid that person so that she knows that I'm not following her. I'm just trying to get to my car. Like, you just have to have a sense of awareness when it comes to, things around you. But, I feel like this is going to sound kind of messed up. I feel like some guys know it's creepy and some guys don't know it's creepy.
Yep.
And you kind of just have to, there's no way to like train that. I don't know. Some guys are just creepy guys. Women can be creepy too. Some women can be extremely pushy. I don't like being mean. I'm very rarely mean, but I'm not going to name names, but we have this person that comes in the brewery and she is extremely pushy, and I get it, she thinks
It's me. Just kidding.
that's it. Yep. Then every time she's in, she drinks way too much and insists on me sitting next to her.
I don't even think I drink like 2. I don't drink much there.
Yep. Yeah, you didn't drink a lot. But yeah, I just finally had to tell her, I was like, no, I'm not gonna sit next to you. I'm gonna go sit with my friends. And she's like, can I come sit with you? I'm sorry, I'm not interested. No, you can't sit with me. And that's like, as somebody that doesn't like conflict, if someone doesn't like being mean and telling somebody off like that, it gets to the point sometimes we have to do that. And if you're a guy and you're getting that tone from multiple people, change the way you approach women, change the way you talk to them. If you're a girl, let's get that same tone. Change the way you approach the guys. That's not, And don't sit there and say, oh, they just don't, they're just not open to meeting somebody. Because no, you can't be that pushy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
What are you hopeful for in your own dating life moving forward?
I'm looking to find somebody that I
Wife?
can, the end game is wife, and somebody to build a family with. But what I want to do is like find somebody, travel with this person for a little bit, make sure we're extremely compatible, then go down the path of building a family. Because I feel like travel, you learn a lot when you travel with somebody. You got to make sure you have similar interests while traveling. If someone just wants to shop every time you go to a new city or whatever, that's not going to be conducive to the relationship with me. I'm not a...
Gotta go explore.
Yeah, you gotta explore.
You can do shopping at home.
Exactly. Especially online shopping now.
Yeah, Amazon.
Yeah.
What would you say people should look for? I guess, what should guys look for in their potential wife?
Just try and find somebody that fits your lifestyle. That both parties don't feel forced to make
Don't
compromises.
go to bars every night and get drunk.
Yeah.
What do you hope people take away from this episode?
Yeah, hopefully you got a decent insight of what it's like to be a 38-year-old guy that's still single, and why it's why you should do your best to try not to be that. I mean, it sucks. But also don't rush it. You can't rush it. Don't settle.
Yeah.
Don't rush. Find somebody that fits your lifestyle and is open to communication and is willing to put in the work and effort.
Yeah, because if you rush it, you're just gonna make things worse and probably get divorced.
Mm-hmm. Good luck out there. Hopefully you all find what you're looking for, who you're looking for.
Who you're looking for.
Yeah.
Or get a dog and be single like him. I'm so mean. I'll cut that out.
You can leave it in. No, leave it in. Yeah. Just be a 38-year-old single guy with a dog, and yeah.
Thank y'all so much for listening to this episode. Thank you for coming on the podcast today.
No problem.
Being
Thanks for
so
having
open
me.
with us. Dating, as we all know, dating can feel so complicated and hard and brutal and any other word that you can think of. If you enjoyed this episode, don't forget to subscribe to find out more about episodes down the road. Like this episode, comment your thoughts, leave me a review. It helps so much to get this podcast out there. Until next time, thank y'all so much for tuning into this episode, and I'll see y'all in 2 weeks.
Thanks for having me.